Hey y'all, happy Halloween. Over the past week, I've been uploading short videos showcasing 5 of what I think are the scariest Yu-Gi-Oh cards of all time. This video is a compilation of all 5 shorts. Hope you enjoy and have a great Halloween night. Last Day of Witch is a normal spell card, released all the way back in 1999. Its effect is pretty simple: destroy all face-up spellcasters on the field. But the original Japanese art? It's horrifying. It's like a super detailed drawing of some Roman soldiers, tying women up and leading them to be burned to death on a crucifix. I think the worst part of the art is that the woman in front has no eyes. They're just black holes, like she's wearing someone else's skin. Compare this to the version of the card we got in America, with a super cartoony witch giggling and flying a broomstick. If I were a Midwest American mother living in 1999 and I saw my kids playing with this card, I'd probably think Yu-Gi-Oh was satanic too. Parasite has one of the most unique effects of any Yu-Gi-Oh card. When it's flipped up, you shuffle it into your opponent's deck, and if they ever draw it, they immediately summon it and take 1000 damage. But seeing the original Japanese art might be worse than losing the life points. It shows the titular parasite crawling into a soldier's mouth and chewing through their face until it rips through the other side. And it's got tentacles and claws popping out everywhere. Oh god. It's no wonder that when it came to America, they kept the insect but deleted the body horror. Fiend Comedian actually has a pretty good effect. You can either banish your opponent's entire graveyard or mill from your own deck, but it's hampered by an inconsistent coin toss, the need to rely on your opponent, and if you're living in Japan, some horrifying artwork. Look at these dudes. The pink one on the left is baring his awful teeth and pulling his skin off, while the green one on the right is just covered in ugly, protruding veins. This is one of the few Yu-Gi-Oh cards where I'd be genuinely terrified to run into these guys in a back alley. You know they'd immediately cut your stomach open. Compare it to the American version. Now, the pink guy here is still pretty creepy, but the green one? Total charmer. I'd go to his stand-up show. Tragedy is an incredibly situational trap card, meaning it'll pretty much never get played. But if your opponent ever does flip this up against you, expect a chill to run down your spine when you look at the artwork. The thing that gets me about this card isn't the shadowy skeleton monster in the back, but the woman. She's drawn in this hyper-realistic style that you don't see on any other card, just staring at you and screaming. It looks like something out of an old Pulp Fiction novel. And it's definitely more evocative than the original OCG artwork, which is just a plain old drawing of a guillotine. Not that I don't appreciate a good guillotine from time to time. Of all the cards that I've talked about in this series, Outer Entity Nyarla is definitely the most competitive. It's simple to summon, and its effect lets you easily modulate its rank in order to summon even better Xyz monsters. And like the name implies, Nyarla's art looks like something right out of an H.P. Lovecraft novel. Of course, you have the mouths, the misshapen, wet, fang-filled mouths, but let's take a second to try and think about what Nyarla's entire body looks like. At the front, you see these 2 big tentacles combining into this one mass that sort of looks like Nyarla's head, but then the tentacle just keeps going. How big is this thing? Is it an endless and infinite writhing mass, impossible for our tiny human minds to comprehend? And that's not even asking the biggest question. What does this thing smell like?